Ladies and gentlemen, this is a former police chief, and he got busted for faking his own death. He did this to try to evade being arrested for crimes that he committed. See, it don't help when you got law enforcement and they're even bigger criminals than the people they're arresting. See, these folks ain't bothered by that. It's okay for their cops to be criminals. They're fine with that. They just want to go overboard when it's somebody from the melanated side of town. Then they want to go overboard with everything. See, this is why leadership is poor in America, because we know these folks don't lead by example. They don't believe in that, but they believe in telling you what to do and you just do it. It doesn't work. This is why their leadership is a complete failure, because you can't be committing crimes and then the criminal wants to tell you not to commit any crimes. And that's what we've been experiencing for 500 straight years. The criminals are trying to tell us not to be criminals. Go figure. Sheriff upset over elaborate ruse orchestrated by former Chadbourne police chief evading arrest. Former Chadbourne police chief Anthony Spivey was taken into custody in Columbus County after faking his own death and leading police on a days-long search both on land and underwater. Officials called the investigation a fiasco. Spivey faces dozens of criminal charges connected to actions while he was a Chadbourne police chief, including mishandling evidence, drug trafficking, and embezzling. WECT reports Spivey is accused of repeatedly raiding the police department's evidence room and stealing a variety of narcotics, thousands of dollars in cash, and firearms. Oh, so he was just making that his candy shop, y'all. He was a kid in the candy shop in the evidence room. Two people were charged with obstruction of justice for allegedly helping Spivey fake his own death. Debbie Bridger Sasser and Harold Dean Sasser was arrested on Thursday, charged with a felony count of obstructing justice. Officials say that while the now meaningless search was frustrating, they hope Spivey will stay in jail under a $5 million bond until his day in court. And to paraphrase Mark Twain, the news of Mr. Spivey's death has been greatly exaggerated, said Brunswick County District Attorney John Davis. Davis said, while the investigators were skeptical, the days long search along the Lumber River was necessary. It's frustrating, but if we had it all, had to do it all over again, we would not advise to do anything else, he said. Understand that we have to take reports of someone's suicide and the fact that they're missing in the river with severity. Okay. So Spivey, he was arrested at his aunt's house in South Carolina on Thursday. But you said you were dead. You said you were dead. Mm. I wonder if he was resisting arrest. Yeah, he had to be. He faked his own death, so he was resisting arrest. He was avoiding arrest. Okay. So his aunt was saying she had no idea he was even running from the authorities. So I guess he was hanging out there, but he never told her the real reason why. So she said she had no idea that he was even being looked for by the sheriff's department. The Columbus County Sheriff's Office said more than $64,000 in taxpayer money was spent on the search. Sheriff Jody Green wants Spivey and all of those who are accused of helping him hide to pay the money back. Time and equipment used to investigate this elaborate ruse, if you will, orchestrated by Anthony Spivey and his band of misfits, he said, please know that I am seeking restitution from these defendants. But Green said that the investigation cost more than money. It's time taken away from your family. It's the cost of a risk of your personal safety, and it's a lost opportunity cost, a cost that comes from crimes that are not investigated or followed up upon. Wow. A police chief that faked his own death to avoid being arrested for crimes so he was just making the investigation room where he stole drugs, money, weapons. He was just in there like a little boy in a candy store. So that's where all of the drugs and everything he was selling illegally came from, the evidence room. And we know these cops do this stuff all the time. They do. I used to live in a place called Atco, and they ended up wiping out the police force and bringing in a whole new force because the corruption was bad. One of the police officers was selling drugs, got busted selling drugs within yards from a high school. It was a mess. And they would stop you and lecture you on their political views. I kid you not. They would want people to be concerned about their political views, so they would just stop you. It was crazy what they were doing here. But it was so many crimes happening within the police department, and the community was having problems dealing with the police. They finally just wiped them all out and brought in a whole new force because the internals were just awful with these cops. They were just committing crimes all over the place. But see, that being said, y'all, these are the same police departments that they want you to obey and follow their commands and do what they say, and respect them when they have done nothing to earn that respect. So you're supposed to follow the rules while you watch people like this not follow anything, and they think that's good leadership. That is not good leadership, and it never will be good leadership. End of discussion. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. What a disgrace. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.